morning, you guys. I'm running just a little bit behind this morning. Oh, only 4 minutes, only 4 minutes. But the funny thing is today we're going to talk about time management and productivity, and I'm like running late. Like, how crazy is that? So, well, it's because you try to juggle so much, right, my friends? Y'all have to understand that when you juggle as much as I do, which I know if you're listening to me, you probably are juggling just as much, if not more, than I am. So, if you're on, I'm over here on TikTok, I'm over here on YouTube. If you're on, I would love for you to just say hello. Let me know you're in here. Everything I talk to you about is going to relate to being a business owner. It's going to relate to maybe building your business online or in brick and mortar because I do own a salon. So there's a lot of things that I know about owning a salon. I've been owning my own business since the 90s. Yeah, 90s. I know some of you guys probably weren't even born in the 90s, especially over here on TikTok. So thank you for the tap, Sunny. Thank you for joining. Thank you for hopping on and the hearts and liking. I really appreciate it because when I sit here and I'm talking to myself, it just makes it a little bit weirder. Although I know a lot of people are going to watch the replay over here on YouTube. Happy Friday. I love Friday. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to talk today about time, you know, managing your time. And I've got 7 things that I want to give to you, 7 things that are going to help you to get more productive, have more time freedom. One thing that I love about the program that I am in right now is we are learning to have a 2-hour workday. So having a 2-hour workday has really given me the advantage of being able to have more time with my family and do some of the things that I really love to do. A little history about me. So I'm a stylist and a salon owner, and I have owned a salon since, like I said, since 98. I bought my first salon in 1998. I got married in 1996. I always knew I wanted to have a salon, and my husband and I decided that it was time. I built my clientele up, and it was time to like step out into my own and have my own salon. So I have learned a lot about owning a business between strategies and managing time and all of those things ever since owning my salon. As a salon, as a stylist, we work by appointment. So I've always kind of been on a schedule when I'm at work. When I'm not at work, it was just kind of like free for all, and it would get chaotic. So I've learned some time management and productivity hacks over the years that have helped me to stay on task. As someone who has ADHD and a really creative brain, sometimes I would get um, very easily distracted. I still do. I still get very easily distracted. So, some of the hacks that I'm going to give you today are going to help you if you're that person that gets distracted. They're going to help you if you're that person that really has to hone in on your tasks and figure out exactly what it is that you're doing. Um, in what time so that you can stay moving forward in your business and you can stay being productive and you can stay super hyper focused on what it is that you need to do. Okay, so number one, the first thing that we're going to talk about is setting priorities. So how do you do that? Well, first of all, I'm just so you know, I'm going to actually drop some apps and some I'm going to give you some different programs and apps that you can use to help you stay focused. Y'all, I own four businesses. Okay. I own a salon. I do my digital marketing business. I now started helping people with tech and getting branding. And I own Kickstarter Superfood Coffee. I'm the founder of this. And this we have an affiliate program as well. So I'm also managing not only the production, the packaging, the shipping, but the payouts, right, for this as well. So these are all hacks. These hacks that I'm giving you are things that I actually use in my everyday. All right. And I work pretty much 7 days a week, but I've learned to reduce the time that I work every single day so that I don't feel like I'm working all the time. All right. So, number one, again, you're going to set priorities. So, what does that mean? Well, I just recently learned about this called the Eisenhower technique. Now, I don't know how many of you know about this technique, but it's something that I already was doing, but I didn't know there was a name for it. Okay. So, the Eisenhower technique, it's where you categorize all of your tasks, you list. So, you brain dump. I do a brain dump. If I can't, because if I don't put it on paper, I will forget about it. Like, I don't know about you, but I'll be sitting there and I'll think of something. And if I'm driving or if I'm doing something, I'll use voice notes or I'll message it to to someone else, like I'll message it to one of my kids, or I'll just saying it out loud and putting it down on paper or making a list. It just helps me to stay focused. All right. So when you're using the Eisenhower technique, what you want to do is you want to make your list, brain dump, and then you have to categorize them and rank them by importance. All right. The Eisenhower technique is this. There's 4 pieces. All right. Write this down because this is like really going to be helpful. All right. You categorize it into 4 quadrants. One is urgent and important. Those are the things you've got to get out of the way. They have to get done today. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you don't get it done, then, everything else is going to fall apart. Like those are the important things, urgent and important. So what are some of the things that fall into those categories? Like maybe paying your bills, like making sure that you go to work, right? Like these, I don't know, things that you are very, very urgent. Those are the things that you're going to put first. Second, you're going to do important, but not urgent. So yes, they need to be done, but maybe they're not quite as important as other things. I always, Sunny is my VA. If you see her in here, she's loving on the live. She will tell you that I'm kind of all over the place when it comes to things that I think of. My creative brain, a manifesting generator. If you know anything about human design, I'm a dreamer and I think of things all the time. And so I'll write them down and I'll have all these things and they seem super important at the time. But then when I look at them, I'm like, you know what? They're not really urgent though. Like these are things that we can hold off and we can wait and we can work on later, right? And sometimes when I categorize them and I put them in certain areas, I often even realize that maybe once I categorize them out of the urgent and important and into just the important, eventually maybe they just kind of fall off the list too. All right. So urgent and important, definitely want to work on first. Important, but not urgent. And then urgent, but not important, right? So you've got urgent and important. That's in one list. Important and not urgent. And then you've got urgent but not important. And then you've got ones that are, and then your 4th list is going to be neither. It's not important. It's not urgent. It's just you brain dumping. It's just a to-do list. It's just things that you have on your list that you want to get done, but maybe you don't need to get done. So it's like wants and needs, right? So that's number 1 is going to be setting your priorities, making your list, ranking them from the most important down, right? Or categorizing them in that Eisenhower technique. I'm like, it's so funny that I have always done that, but I didn't realize that's exactly what I was doing. All right. Number 2, what's the second thing that you can do? You can do time blocking. What is time blocking? You guys, I learned about this a few years ago. I actually on my YouTube channel have a video where I talk about doing Google Calendar and time blocking. Now, it probably needs to be updated because it's from a few years ago, and Google Calendars, it hasn't really changed a lot, but you know what? It probably still needs to be updated. I've changed a lot. So maybe what I was talking about back then might not have been as relevant as it is now, or maybe I have more clarity, because as you get to talking more, you get better at explaining yourself more, right? I still have a ways to go on that too, if I'm being honest. All right. So anyways, time blocking. So some things that I can use for time blocking are things like Google Calendar and Cozy Calendar. Now, the reason why I love to use Google Calendar is because the creative side of me loves how I can add colors. I can literally put I can color coordinate everything that's on my Google Calendar. So it almost looks like a Tetris board, like when I pull my calendar up, because everything is listed. I have it listed from like my 7 to 8 o'clock is my go live, my 8 to 8:30 or 8 to 8:45 is my drive time. And then from 9 o'clock on to 9 o'clock on to however late I'm working. If I'm working that day, I have that set out, and each person that I'm doing their hair is actually scheduled on there. It's blocking. I'm blocking those times. So like today, I'm going to be working from 9 until about 1, and then I have an eyelash appointment. That's on my calendar. And that's something that you have to prioritize as well, is doing your your own me time, right? Put it on the calendar. You guys put everything on your calendar. And if you have to move things around, you can be flexible. But if it's on your calendar, at least it's in your face and you have made time for it. Okay. I actually watch my kids, my grandkids, a couple times a week for them. This is one of the things that has given me freedom to be able to say yes when my kids say, Mom, can you watch can you watch Olivia, or can you watch Izzy, or can you watch Addie? Yes, I can do those things because I've actually been able to manage my time. I get up early, I get my 2 hour workday done, and then by like 9 o'clock, I'm ready to go. I am ready to go. I'm ready to be able to enjoy my time. I'm either ready to go to work at the salon the 3 days a week that I'm there, or I'm able to be present and go to breakfast with my mom and dad every Tuesday, which is on my calendar because it's important to me. It's important, but not urgent, right? And I'm also able to babysit my grandkids, which is important to me. Okay, that's important to me. Um, so those are some things that I put on my calendar. And I like, for me, my favorite color is purple. So I literally have a category that says me time, and it's purple. My salon, my appointments that I have on my salon, I have those as green because guess what? That makes money. Everything that's green is money income producing for me, right? So I have it set up where the colors actually make me think of something. Okay. My babysitting, I have all girls. I've got 5 daughters, 4 granddaughters. So if I'm babysitting and I put Olivia on my calendar, it's going to be in pink because that's my girly time, right? Okay. So that's time blocking. Number 3, you're going to delegate. So here's an app that I use for delegating. Sunny can tell you we love Trello. If you are not a Trello fan, I promise you, take a look at it and you will be. It is incredibly like easy to use. It's user friendly. Once you've learned how to maneuver it and how to work it, it's so easy and it's so much fun. Um, it's really helped me. I don't even know, Sunny, how many Trello boards do you think I have? I probably have like 100. So Trello is one of those things where it's almost like a virtual note card. Like, remember back when we used to have those index card holders, and it was just a little box and you would put your index cards in it and then you would separate each index card. That's basically what Trello is. A board is the box. Okay. And then you get on each index card, each category inside of your box is a list. Each board has lists and you can create lists. Now, inside each list is your cards, and you put your cards on each list. So that's what Trello is. And so you can literally have a virtual index card box on, and it's free. It's free. So what I have done is I've actually created some Trello templates. So if you're somebody who loves Trello and you want to get some Trello templates, drop templates in the comments, and I can get you a couple of my free templates that I have that will help for moms. But that's what I use. And so my number, again, and this is me squirreling, you guys. This is why I have lists, because it's really important for me to have lists. My number 3 thing is to batch. I'm sorry. My number 3 thing is to delegate. So that's what I use Sunny for, and that's what I use Trello for, because I will brain dump on my list, and then I categorize them through through. So I have one list that says brain dump, and each task is a card, and then I have lists that say basically urgent and important, important but not urgent, like that whole thing that we talked about. And then I take each card and I put it where it needs to go. And if it's something that I can share with Sunny and she can help me with, like there's certain things that I just need to pass off to her, because we all have strengths and weaknesses. And sometimes your strengths are, to do certain things, but then you have other things that you might need to find a pro, or you might need to find someone who their strengths are a little different than yours. And I can go to her and say, hey, you're really good at doing this. Can you take this over for me? And I delegate it to her, because it doesn't make sense for me to sit there and beat my head against the wall and spend all of this time doing something that, she's going to do so much quicker, so much faster, and it's going to look so much better or work out so much easier. And I can just pay her a little bit of time, or pay her with a little bit of money, because the thing is time is equivalent to money. And if it's taking me hours upon hours to do it, but it only takes her maybe 30 minutes, it just makes more sense for me to pay her to get it done than it does to spend hours upon hours. Like, I don't know about you, but as I'm getting older, each hour it has a higher value for me, right? Each hour has a higher value for me. So when I work at the salon, like, I actually determine what my prices are based on how long it takes me to do and how much product I'm using, right? So I know what my worth is per hour. I know what I'm capable of making per hour, right? So I need to make sure that every single hour is valued at that or higher. And so if I'm spending tons of time on something that is not valued that high, I can pass it on to her and say, hey, can you help me with this? Because I'm going to sit here, beat my head against the wall, and it's going to waste a lot of time for me. So you delegate. Another way you can delegate if you don't really have the money to get a virtual assistant is find people that are in, or, go to your kids, go to your husband, go to family members and just say, hey, you have the ability to do this. This is something that you could do. You can take out the garbage. That's your chore. That's your task. That's your way of being a part of this family, right? You delegate because I don't do the dishes. I don't do the dishes. Okay. Why do I not do the dishes? Because I'm the one that's helping pay for the groceries. I'm the one that's helping, I'm working hard. I feed the chickens. I feed the dogs. I have my chores. My daughter does the dishes. Those are her chores, right? We have another child that takes out the garbage, and we have another child that makes sure the floor is picked up. We have dogs. There's hair everywhere. Sometimes there's poo poo everywhere, right? So, like, if they have an accident, I have one of the kids that they're the ones that's kind of in charge of making sure the floor is picked up and clean, because we've got little ones that are learning to walk and they're crawling, and we don't want them on a dirty floor. So we delegate. Everybody has a place and a task to do, and that keeps things running smooth in your house. So delegate your tasks. Use something like Trello. I actually have, if you guys are interested, if you're a mom and you're like wanting to learn about Trello, or you already know about Trello, y'all, I actually have a chore list that I made for my kids on Trello. I can give you the template for that because um, I actually set it up when they were younger, where each card had a chore on it and each card had a value. And now they were very small values, but the value of it was basically like their allowance, so to speak. I know some people believe in allowance and some don't. I got an allowance when I was a kid. I had to earn it. And I just feel like when you teach your kids the value of money and you teach them the value of being able to get their chores done, and they get compensated for it, they can use that money to spend on things that otherwise you would just be giving them money for anyways, but they're earning it, right? So I have this Trello board set up where each card has a value. And I would say, okay, when you get this chore done, you earn this money. And it was on the Trello, and it was delegating, but it was also teaching them how to manage their money. Okay. So that was number 3. Number 4 is really important for me. All of these are kind of really important for me, but number 4 specifically, because I get so easily distracted. My creative brain is always like all over the place. So number 4 is eliminating distractions. Now, I'm going to tell you some tips that I use to eliminate distractions. First of all, you need to figure out what is distracting you. What are the things that distract you? If messenger or text are things that distract you, then you need to put your phone on silent, put your phone on airplane mode, or turn off the messenger chat on your computer, right? Turn those things off. If they're distracting you, you need to eliminate them just for a time. Just for a time. They're not in your batch in that moment. They're not on the calendar. They're not urgent and important. Now, here's the thing. I have it set up on my phone. I have an iPhone, so I don't know how it works with Android. I'm sure there's something similar. But on my iPhone, I have it set up where my kids and my parents, they are what's called emergency bypass. So if you're somebody who's like, yeah, but what if my kid needs me? Well, first of all, my work hour happens between 7 and 9 a.m. or 6 and 8 a.m., right? So I can be done and ready for my day to start. So my kids are still sleeping between 6 and 8. So if it's urgent and they call me or text me during that time, or they know where to find me during that time, it's probably important. It's probably very important. Okay. So I have them on emergency bypass as well as my parents. So you can turn your phone on airplane mode, or turn it on silent even through the night while you're sleeping, so you get a good night's sleep, but have that emergency bypass set up. Okay. So you're going to eliminate distractions. You want to have a distraction free workplace where when you're time batching, you can literally stay on focus and on task so that you're not losing precious time. All right. Um, I'm learning as I go that some of the things that distract me from staying focused on task as to what we're discussing, even when I go live, is some weird comments, right? So I try not to look at the comments. I've actually, thank you for the follow. I do look, but I'm like, I try to stay not distracted. But I allow Sunny as my moderator so that she can silence anybody who's trolling or saying something that is scammy or spammy, because I just don't have time for that. Like, that is taking away from my focus. I want to spend my time on something that's going to make money. It's going to be income producing, or it's going to be inspiring, educating, or adding value to your life, because that is what's important to me. And if someone's on my live or they're in my, like I don't even have, like I'm StreamYarding over into YouTube right now, but I don't have it set up where I can see the comments, because if I see the comments come in and it's somebody who's saying something that's like not going to add value to my live, then I need to turn it off. I'm learning that as I go. I'm setting those boundaries around my focus and my energy so that, where energy goes, abundance flows, right? I don't need to have an energy around people that are not going to help me or that I'm helping them. Like we're not on the same page. You don't need to be here in my live. So it's easier for me to just stay focused by shutting those down, right? Okay, so making sure you're eliminating your distractions, telling your family, hey, I have boundaries around this time and this time. Do not. Right now, I'm sitting in my garage. This is my office. I have my camera here. They can hear me talking if they get up. I've told them, do not come in the garage between 7 and 8. That's when I'm going live, and it's important for me. If I tell them, you better be bleeding, or you better be hurt, or something better be burning down, right? If you're going to distract me and you're going to, disrupt me, then it better be important. So they know I have set boundaries around that. I love you. You will have all of me when I'm done with what I'm doing, right? So my mom taught me that when I was a little kid. She would pick me up from school and she would say, Terry, just give me 10 minutes. Because I was an only child and I was, and she was like, you know what? I've been working at second generation stylist here. So my mom was a stylist as well. And she would be working at the salon and she would talk all day long with her clients. And then she would get in the car and she would go, I just need to decompress. I just need 10 minutes. I just need to have those boundaries around that few minutes where I can have, I don't need you to interrupt my thoughts. I need to focus on what I need to do because I need to step into the space of going from the home or the work space, the salon space, into being a mom and being a wife and being a homemaker. And I need to be able to decompress and walk away from that. And I need to set some boundaries around that. I need you to just give me 10 minutes. So it's not, you don't have to be mean about it. You can just say to your kids, hey, I need you to like understand and respect that I need this time away from you so that I can have more time with you. Right. So and honestly, as they get older, they do respect that a lot more. Okay. All right, so that setting timers. We're going to talk about using productivity tools. Let's see, delegate, reducing distractions, silencing your phone, taking breaks. So taking breaks is really important. Have you guys ever heard of Pomodoro technique? I don't even know if I'm saying it right. Pomodoro, I think is how you say it. I've heard of it and I've actually used it for a really long time. But it's called Pomodoro technique. But what it is it's 25 and 5. All right, or 20 and 10. Right? You can kind of like create it and make it your own. But the whole premise behind it is that you're going to work for 25 minutes. You're going to stay on task. You're going to you're going to block your things. You're going to prioritize and block, and you're going to put them in a list. And then you're going to set a timer and you're going to go, okay, I'm going to work on this for 25 minutes. And after 25 minutes, I'm going to get up and I'm going to stretch. I'm going to go get a drink. I got to go to the bathroom. I'm going to take a little break. Right. And then after that, like you do 25 and 5. So you do 25 minutes of work, 5 minutes is a break. So for every half hour, you get a 5-minute break, right? And then you're going to go back to work another 25 minutes, and then you're going to take another 5-minute break. So what it does is when you take breaks, it resets your brain and it helps you to get refocused and realigned. And the easiest thing to do is just set a timer. Set timers, because I don't know about you, but I can get easily fall into the rabbit hole of scrolling. If I'm taking a break, I can get really easily distracted. So I even need to set a timer for my break. And I need to go, okay, time to go back to work or time to take your break, right? So you want to make sure that you're doing that so that you can really stay aligned and focused with your project that you're working on or whatever it is that you're doing. It's going to help you be a lot more productive. I promise you. All right. So Pomodoro technique, taking breaks is going to refresh and reset your mind. You want to make sure you're doing that. All right. Number 6, batching. Y'all, I learned about batching like a few years ago. I have a business coach and mentor who I follow, and she really talked about batching, and it was like game changing for me. What is batching? If you've never heard of batching, it is when you take similar tasks and you group them all together. So when you say, for instance, if you're working an online business and you're doing digital marketing like I am, and you've got people who, by the way, go into your email funnel, right? They put their emails in and they maybe start have some questions. Like, you're not bouncing back and forth between Messenger, TikTok, email. You're not bouncing, right? You're like, okay, I'm going to set a time aside to answer my emails. So every day between like 7 and 7:15 or whatever, however long it takes you, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, you're going to put that on your calendar and you're going to say, I'm going to time block and I'm going to batch. That's when I'm going to answer my emails. Then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to do it with phone calls. I don't know about y'all, but I'm a little bit more introverted when it comes to phone calls, which is why I love doing digital marketing. I do not have to, I don't have to get on the phone. I love not having to get on the phone. I can literally do everything through Messenger. Sunny and I've worked together for how long now, Sunny? Probably close to maybe 2 years, I think. And I have to tell you, like, we've never been on the phone together. I don't even think we've been on a Zoom except for maybe when she's been on some of my trainings. So, and we've worked together easily over Messenger. We've done a couple voice chats before, but I love not having to do that. So anyways, see me getting distracted, right? Me getting distracted. So reducing the distractions, taking breaks, and now batching. I love batching. You guys, if you're content creators, batching your content, seriously, I've heard people doing this. I've not done it yet. I really need to, because there are days when I have really high energy and there are days that I have lower energy. When you're a mom of 5 girls and you've got beautiful granddaughters and you're running 4 businesses and you've got your parents living next door and you've got all these different things, 6 dogs, a cat, like all these things that need to be 25 chickens, right? All these things that need to be taken care of. By the end of the day, your energy can be just like, you can feel defeated. So when I have my highest energy, I need to start batching my content. So I have heard of people doing that where they're content creators and they literally will have like 3 or 4 shirts, and they'll do like their 3 or 4 pieces of content in their one shirt, and then they'll turn around and they'll change their shirt and they'll do another 3 or 4 pieces of content in that, and then they'll turn around and they'll do another 3 or 4 pieces of content or in another shirt, and they're batching it and they're getting it all done in one day, and they're putting it in their drafts, and then all they have to do is maybe do a few edits, right? Some of the content I edit really hard and some of it I don't. That's a whole nother topic. But anyways, but you can edit it, and then you can save it, and then you can just release it a little bit at a time. And it's just batching your content. And I think that it's brilliant. And I really need to start doing that because I just think that I don't know. It's just brilliant. It's brilliant. Okay. So that was number 6. I skipped one somewhere along the way. When did I skip? We did setting priorities. Okay, that was number 1. We're going to do a recap here because I feel like I skipped one. Number 1, setting priorities. Number 2, we're time blocking. Okay. Number 3, we're delegating. Number 4, we're eliminating distractions. Number 5, I think we skipped, is using productivity tools. We talked about it, but we didn't actually put it in a list. That is where I talked about using things like Trello. I've heard of some people using Asana for project management and task tracking and time blocking and stuff. I've never used Asana, Sunny. I don't know. Have you used Asana before? I only have ever used Trello. I'm like a Trello nerd. It really gets me excited when I create a new board and I get it all like pretty and worked up and I'm like, wow, this is awesome, right? So again, if you haven't used Trello, it's pretty incredible. You know what? You can send me a message or you can drop Trello in the comments, or if you want to actually the best way to reach me versus DMs, because I don't really DM with people unless I get to know you real well, because there's so many like scammers out there, and I'm sorry, but if I don't know you, I don't really trust you yet. And I'm sure that that's the same for you with me. So in order to know that it's me you're actually talking to, I would tell you to go ahead and just put your email in with Get Digital with Terry. Just put your email in. First of all, you're going to get a guide. There's 10K in 90 days, or I'm sorry, 10K in 30 days. It's a blueprint. It's going to tell you how you can make your first $10,000 in like 30-day period. So you're going to get that. But it's also going to get you directly connected with me. You put your email in, you can actually email me And you can say, hey, you know that Trello board you were talking about on your live? Could you send that to me, or can you get me the information on how I can get it? Because I have a package of I think it's like 10 Trello boards, and then there's like 3 bonus Trello boards. And it's right now priced at $97, but I'm actually going to reduce the price to $47. So I'm actually need to do that. So Sunny, we need to put that on our list. So it's something that, but I can get you a coupon code for it until we actually get the price reduced. So you can just message me and I can get you the link for that. Because if you are, I have people that are absolutely loving these Trello templates that I did. It's just something that's really exciting. So the productivity tools, oh, Sunny said you can use Notion. There's another one that was listed. It's called Toggl. I kind of looked up some different ones because I was really interested in learning more. I'm very nerdy when it comes to like apps and programs and stuff. So we've got Trello, Asana, Toggl, and then Sunny just said Notion. I know another one that you can use, and this is more for just like if you have a team and you want to like really delegate. I think there's one called Monday. I looked at that one as well. But again, they're all so similar that you just got to find the one that works for you. And for me, I've put so much time and energy in creating my Trello boards that I'm like, okay, I love Trello, so I'm just going to continue with that. Oh, ClickUp, that's another one too. I have one of the people that I actually follow on social media. She's a YouTube coach. She uses ClickUp, and she has this video where she's like, Trello versus ClickUp, here's my pros and cons. And so, you know what, you guys, that's an easy way to do it too, is figure out what you like, is find someone that you trust, find someone that you follow, find someone you relate to, and do what they do. If they use Trello, use Trello. If they use Monday, use Monday. If they use ClickUp, right? And just, you can go on YouTube and you can actually ask them, because there's 100 different ways to do one thing. All right. I sat in a room of stylists one time. I was actually a national educator for a big corporate hair care company. And I would go to salons and I would teach how to do cuts and colors, and I would teach how to use products and how to do simple things like styling. And well, simple for me because I've been doing it for so long, so I don't want to minimize it. Like I'm not calling it simple. I was giving them like easier ways to do it. Anyways, I digress. So I would go to these trainings, and there would be like 100 different stylists in a room, and our person that was like coaching us or that was teaching us, our mentor, they would say, okay, you've got a person that has a level whatever hair, which is like levels 1 through 10, one's black and 10's blonde. So say they walk in, you have someone who has level 7 hair, and they want to go to a level 4. They want it to be like a reddish gold color, like a copper. What formula are you going to use? I promise you that all 100 stylists would have a different formula, but would get the exact same results. So that's what I'm trying to go with, is just find what gets you the results the easiest. Like if you are programmed more and something like Trello just works better for your brain, then use Trello. Okay. If something like Monday works better for your brain, use Monday or Asana. Like, boards. Have you used boards, Sunny? I just recently was introduced to boards because my mentor that I follow for a done for you digital marketing product, like where the content's already created for you, and like it's a resale product. She has been promoting that, and so of course she's my mentor. So what she does, I do, because that's what you do when you find a mentor, right? You're like, okay, she's having success with that, I got to do what she's doing. And so I jumped on board with her with that. And speaking of board, she uses boards, and she literally has it. I never really heard of it. It's actually kind of brilliant. They have an actual keyboard that you can use on your phone, where you actually can plug boards into your, it's crazy. Like, I don't even know how to explain it because I'm still learning it, and it's a little bit overwhelming at first. A lot of things are overwhelming at first till you get to know them, and then they're not overwhelming anymore. So if you're overwhelmed at the thought of getting started with your own business, or getting started with digital marketing, or getting started with any of the things that we talked about with Trello, ClickUps, Monday, Asana, boards, Notion. Oh, I forgot to tell you one that I actually use. It's for to-do lists. It's an app. It's called Todoist, and there's actually, I just recently found out that there's a web-based version of it. So you can actually go on the web and it syncs up with the app on your phone. You just plug in your email, like whatever email you use to register with that, you plug it in. But it's Todoist, Todoist. So Todoist. And that has been a game changer too, because I put everything on my list. So I use my notes app. I use Todoist. So my biggest issue is getting everything in one place. So once I get it on there, I can copy paste and put it on my Trello, and then it's game changer. So anyways, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me on this Friday morning. I'm very excited to have been here and been able to help you. I hope that everything that I talked about today was something that I hope you got one thing, even just one thing. Okay. I hear my mentor say that if every single day you get 1% better, then in 100 days, you're going to be 100% better. So I hope that even if you just got one thing out of what we talked about today helps you, that will make your day easier, to where you actually are able to have some productivity and to actually be able to get some of your time back. Because I don't know about you, but for me, that is the most important thing. Time is more valuable than money, because it's something that you can't ever get back. Once it's gone, right? So I think that setting your boundaries, batching your priorities, all of that, it's very important. Like, I think managing your time is more important than managing anything. All right. Well, I don't know. We could talk about managing your money, managing your emotions, those kind of things, but time management, it's very crucial, because again, you can't get that back. So if you guys want to learn more, I would love for you to give me a follow. I would love for you to subscribe. I would love for you to connect, going to my website and then putting in your email and just saying hi, and let's stay connected that way. You guys, there's a webinar happening later today where they're going to talk more about how you can start making daily pay. You can start earning $900 a day, and you can do it in a 2-hour workday. And so if you're interested in the webinar, drop webinar in the comments or message me through your email, and I will get you that information to get you registered, because those webinars fill up. It's crazy. Like, we went from when I joined the program back in April, I joined April 12th or something, 11th or 12th. It's now July, what day is it? 26th. We now have then we had less than 12,000 people, and now we have like 31,000 people. All right. That's crazy to me. 31,000 people. So, hey, Christina, I was just about to hop off, my friend, because I got to go to the salon. Today is my day to work. It's just a half a day. I'm totally fine with that. I love what I do. I love getting up and going into work, and it's just awesome. So I want to say thank you for hopping on. Thank you for joining me. Again, if you want more information about that webinar, just get with me, send me an email or a message, and we'll get you that information. And if it's something that you can't jump on today, I can send you the replay, because they always give us the replay, and that's an easy way to stay connected too. So, all right. Thanks, you guys. Have a happy Friday. Have a great weekend, and stay productive, stay focused, and don't let any distractions keep you from being the best version of yourself. Okay. Have a good day.